Hey everybody, Iron Obi here, and I'm back, and this time I'm back to talk about the Destiny 2 December update that Bungie just released yesterday, and really, I'm not going to be giving a step-by-step breakdown of everything that's in that Bungie post, because I'm sure there are other videos out there that are already going to do that, and in fact, I'll even link one or two right here, and I'll also link in the description below the link to the original page, so if you want to go and read up all the information, you can, but suffice it to say, this was a nice update after massive backlash from underwhelming Osiris streams that Bungie had did, to lackluster endgame content, to jokes about getting two blues, or a blue and two tokens. This is something that Bungie definitely needed to do, and that's where people were coming from. They were upset that this Osiris stuff was like, oh, we're showing off all this Osiris stuff, but key problems in Destiny 2 had 3 months out, still not been addressed. And when I'm hearing these things like, oh, we're not going to see, much of these, endgame investments change for maybe a year, that's a really long time. But this update is showing that Bungie is starting to listen, or being, at least, if they weren't being forthcoming, they're being forced, which is okay, by the community to be more forthcoming and just talk about what their plans are, what the game is, what kind of updates can we see, is there anything to expect, just the more communication they give to us, the better back and forth there is, the more we can get some actual constructive criticism to them, rather than just, you suck, Bungie, you suck, this is terrible, why would you ever do this, you're the worst developer ever, and we can get some positive criticisms like, oh, I don't think this drops enough, and Bungie, but again, that's a two-way streak. We've been screaming, and Bungie has just been behind the door, just waiting and not saying anything. We've not gotten responses from them from a long time. And for me, especially, who played Destiny 2 a lot, I played Destiny 1 all through its life cycle, but I played Destiny 2 for probably a month and some change, and I kind of did everything. I hit max light level, power level, I did everything. I didn't really have anything to chase. So for me, this feels like the first real update Destiny 2 has gotten since its launch, and it feels like that and maybe if it feels like that for anybody else, please tell me in the comments below, because it feels like this is the first kind of real information about the game that we've kind of gotten that's not DLC based, that's not, art community, like, look at the art, like, yeah, cool, the art community, yeah, but what about the game? What's wrong with the game? What's going on with that? You need to talk to us. So this is a good first step. This is by no means a leap. This is very much just one foot forward for Bungie, and hopefully, after the debacle of, lying about the double XP, or the XP scaling, and then the increasing the XP bar to still make it take as long, man, it's just they don't want to take a step backwards. They got 1 foot forward. If they take any more steps back, they're gonna fall off the cliff. Now again, the whole XP debacle thing, I don't know what that's about. I'm sure Bungie has done the math about how many, bright engrams you get per level, how much, because, they need to make a living, they need to make money, however they've sold, whatever, this game was built with however much money, and they've sold, 600 million or whatever, limited editions, and then they've sold season passes, and, and someone's buying some of the microtransactions, they're not making nothing, they're making stuff, so the excuse that, oh, you're earning real money every hour or something, or whatever, however long it takes you to earn bright engrams, it's kind of hoo-ha. It just doesn't, you don't need, just make them free. Just leave the XP bar at 80,000, I don't think it needs any higher than that, and just let people get bright engrams. Will people burn through that content? Maybe. But if that's content, but then at least that's content they can then absorb. They have something to arguably chase without being, knocked down the ladder a little bit by XP scaling and hidden mechanics to stop you from leveling up your character, which is basically what Bungie was doing to try and stop you from getting too many because you're having too much fun. You're getting too many things. You're getting too much loot in this looter shooter. And so it was a really backhanded tactic, and it worked against Bungie because the community, being this community and a great community that it is, fought back, and they said, hey, this sucks, we don't like this. So, Bungie, the only thing I would say is, again, you're kind of doing it, is just keep being progressive with talking about the game, the status, where we as the players have investment in the game, so we're just as invested as in this product, almost as much as you are, especially the people who have made their entire YouTube channels almost solely based on this video game, that have, kept you going through the low parts of Destiny 1, and let's be honest, the low parts of Destiny 2. You have to incentivize those people to stay. You don't want to alienate them, because so far your current game status is made it so that you've gone so casual that the guy who plays on Wednesday for 3 hours, can get as much done as the guy who, hardcore every day, 3-4 hours a day is playing Destiny 2. The people who are going to stick around and play your game the longest are the ones that you're punishing the most, and that's not fair to them who have stuck with you this whole time. I guess what I'm trying to say is that Bungie is starting to make strides in the right direction with open communication to its fan base and being just, keeping us in the loop about what's going on and updating us. Hopefully in the future they will continue to do that, but we'll have to see. That's been kind of back and forth with Bungie as a company. So, sometimes they make things in Destiny 1 and then we don't see any of it in Destiny 2, where we take a bunch of steps forward for Destiny player base and we take a bunch of steps forward for mechanics. They then just forget everything. And it's okay that, people can be mad at Bungie for not using any of the experience they learned from Destiny 1 into Destiny 2. Like, the whole idea, believably, of Destiny 1 was they were going to lay the foundation for sequels, and that the mechanics inside of these games were going to work towards a sequel. Why they waited 3 months to do things like ornaments, which are now being introduced in the December update, blows my mind. I don't know why they thought this was a good idea. Because it's literally like if you had sent a guy, it's a guy you knew this guy, and you're like, hey, I like you, and he's like, oh, cool. Hey, by the way, I wanna go to college and I wanna learn this. I wanna learn something. Can you fund me? And you're like, you know what? I've heard your reputation. I like you a lot. I'm gonna give you some money and I'm gonna trust you. And then, then again, they're going to college, and it's kind of rocky for the first year or whatever. We don't really get a lot of, we don't get a lot of updates from him. It's kind of lackluster performance, because maybe he doesn't understand the class, or he doesn't really know what he's making, or what he's majoring in, or what he's doing. But as the years in college grow up and on and on and on, and he keeps going up, it gets better. He gets better at his job. He gets better at the class. He understands what he's doing more. He understands the subject more. He understands the work more. He's getting better and better at doing what he does. And at the end of the class, he has a fabulous, 95% idea of what he's doing in this class and what he's focused on. And then he said, all right, I'm coming back. I know everything. I thank you for sponsoring me. I need one more favor. I need you to back me again one more time, because I'm trying to go get this job and that I've been studying for, and I've been doing really well in college for this job. And you're like, okay, you're right. It was kind of rocky in the beginning, but I'm going to give you some money again so you can go get this job, and I can support you in this. And then he goes, you give him the money, and he goes to do the job. He's in the job. He's made the job. He's in it. And for literally his first 3 days on the job, literally he doesn't know or use any of the experience he learned for 3 to 4 years in college. He doesn't use any of it. He completely forgot everything. All the skills and all the functions he learned are just gone, and he's just completely gotten rid of them. That is essentially what Bungie did from Destiny 1 to Destiny 2. They just chose to kind of not use any of the experience or knowledge they gained from the last 3 years of the game they were making. So when people are mad that the game is having, the sequel is having issues that the first one solved at the end of the 4-year life cycle of the first game, people kind of have a right to be mad. I'm a little upset. My friends have basically stopped playing the game because they're like, we were in Destiny 1. These weren't what happened? Why did we revert backwards? Why did we step so far back off the cliff when we were in a running stride sprint and we were doing really well? So these people have a right to be mad. Now, that does not give people in the community the right to hate anybody, to yell anybody on Twitter or Facebook or whatever, to spew comments in the YouTube comment section, but that's not going to change. To be hurtful to others, that's not a right thing to do. But you can be upset at the game. That's fine. You can criticize the game. That's fine. Just don't viciously attack people on social media. It doesn't make the case for you, and it just completely and if anything, it takes the case away from Bungie and Destiny and just focuses on you and some other guy or some other girl or some other person on social media, where your direction should be focused on talking about things that don't work in Destiny and things that Bungie can do to improve their IP. Sorry, I was a little bit right here, guys. I didn't want to just, talk. It was supposed to be about the December update, and it kind of was, but I just wanted to kind of, I guess in closing, the December update is a good start, but Destiny 2 as a game, at least from where we're starting at, has a long way to go, it feels, until they really fulfill the promise of kind of what the original Destiny was at the end of its life cycle. So, thanks for sticking around here, listening to my rant here, guys. If you agree with my viewpoint in that, maybe Destiny has a little while to go. The December update's good, but we need more. Feel free to let me know by liking the video or commenting down below. Let me know what your opinions are of the state of Destiny 2. Is this enough to get you back into the game for Curse of Osiris? Your friends back into the game? Or is this kind of like a, maybe I'll wait and see approach? Or are you just like, no, I don't really think it's worth getting back into yet. And if we're not going to, get maybe big sweeping updates for a year, I might not get back into that. I know some of my friends have basically given that concept of, I don't know if it's worth playing unless they're going to really change the stuff. And that's going to take a year. I'm just not going to play Destiny for a year. But thanks for watching the video, guys. Thanks again. I know I've said that a couple times. But thanks. Like the video. Tell me what you think down below. Subscribe. I'm back. I was gone on hiatus for a little bit. I'm going to put out some Total War Warhammer Mortal Empires playthrough, as well as focusing on some Osiris DLC and maybe a review of an interesting product that kind of just came out. But thanks, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.